It's Thursday, and the good stuff is all new. Dreaming of the perfect patio? Steven Sabados is making wishes come true with inspiration and how you can get the look. Then, it's an Organizing 101 crash course with Megan Arthurs for every room in the house. Plus, magician and mentalist Magic Matt is performing some of his mind-bending tricks.
This is wild, guys.
Hold on.
And Mary's making a scrumptious, snack-worthy treat perfect for any time of the day. It all starts right now.
Today, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite sweet treats from my cookbook in Mary's Kitchen. This is my latest cookbook. It is now a couple years old, I'm not going to lie. You might have it. This one I actually shot fully in my own house, which was very fun, and Erin wasn't mad at me, which is always a good thing. Now, in my opinion, this recipe is the perfect afternoon pick-me-up, and it's the best way I know to use up summer's most prolific vegetable. We're talking zucchinis. You know? If you are growing zucchini or you know someone growing zucchini, I can guarantee you're gonna have so much zucchini very soon you're not gonna know what to do with it. So I wanna give you some recipes. Obviously there's the savory, but I wanted to give you a sweet recipe to make. So we're gonna do my marble zucchini loaf with a chocolate cinnamon streusel. How does that sound? I'm excited, it's really, really tasty. So first off, obviously, we have to start off with our zucchini. So I've just got a medium-sized zucchini here. Now, if you are growing your own zucchini, you know it goes from this size to like the size of my leg in no time flat. If your zucchini does get that big, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna split it in half and remove some of the seeds. The seeds start to get a little bit bitter once it gets big. The actual flesh, though, is gonna be really nice still, super sweet, super tasty, and perfect for this cake. Now, getting rid of those seeds, super easy. All you do is split it in half and use a spoon and just scoop it out. This one's nice and young though, so he is good to go. All right, so one medium zucchini, that's about 1.5 cups of that grated zucchini, which is all you need for this recipe. Now, we're gonna get to work on the wet ingredients. I love a loaf. They're moist, they're delicious, they're tasty, they're wonderful, and they're super easy to put together. So into my bowl, I'm going in with 1 cup of white sugar. White sugar is gonna give that kind of almost crackly top, which I really like, kind of on my banana breads and zucchini loaves. Super, super tasty. Now into there, I'm also going in with 1/2 cup of oil. Now, since this is an oil-based cake, I don't have to worry about creaming my sugar and my fat together. If I were doing this with butter, like for a vanilla cake or something like that, you wanna cream it together, which basically beats up that sugar, gets it nice and dissolved, and works air into the mixture, because butter's a little bit heavier than oil, but with an oil cake, you don't have to do that. You can just mix everything in a bowl and you are good to go. So into there, we're gonna go in with 1/4 cup of milk or buttermilk, my preferred dairy, I'm not gonna lie. Pop that on in. Then we're gonna go in with 2 eggs. The eggs obviously bring a little bit of lift, they bring a little bit of binding, they help with some golden brown color as well, so that's absolutely beautiful. So far, so good. Feeling good. Okay, now we're gonna go in with a little bit of vanilla extract. If you don't have vanilla, you could do almond. That would be really nice, but vanilla's always a good thing. I play it fast and loose and free pour when I do vanilla. This and like keeping my phone battery dangerously low are the only ways I'm a dangerous person. All right, feeling good about that. Now I'm gonna give that a good whisk together just to combine. But again, since I'm not using butter, I don't need to worry about whipping this up or creaming it. You just want it to come together until it looks homogeneous, and that is looking absolutely perfect. All right, now into there, we're gonna go in with all of that zucchini. This is kind of like a carrot cake. Basically, if you wanted to, you could swap out the zucchini with some carrots. You're just looking for a vegetable that has a good amount of moisture in it. Super tasty. The good thing about zucchini as well is it's pretty neutral tasting. It's a little sweet, but it doesn't have like a punchy green flavor, so it works really, really well in here. All right, give that a stir just to combine. And now we need to get to work on our dry ingredients. So over here in this bowl, I'm gonna combine 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, if anybody is like one of those healthy bakers out there, I can feel people already being like, I'm gonna sub that out. This lady knows. She's like, no. Yeah. I like this. This is good energy. But if you wanted to sub out a little bit of whole wheat flour, I would do less than half. So I would do 1 cup of regular all-purpose flour and then 3/4 of a cup of whole wheat. You can't just do 1 for 1 because whole wheat flour holds onto moisture differently. So it's just not going to work out. You're going to end up with a really dense loaf. But I'm going full all-purpose today because that's how I like things. All right. Now into there, we're also gonna season that up with a teaspoon of cinnamon. This is where you get the spices, the little bit of warmth, super tasty. So a teaspoon of cinnamon's gonna go on in. Then about a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. Now if you don't have ginger, you don't need it, but it gives a nice warmth. Really, really tasty. All right, now into there for a little bit of lift, we're going in with 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And a teaspoon, or nope, that's a lie, half a teaspoon. Keeping me honest, of baking soda. This is how you can tell I do not have my recipes written down in front of me. All off the old dome, we got this. All right, to balance out the sugar, half a teaspoon of salt as well. And then I'm just gonna give that a whisk together. Now this is gonna give a little bit of spice, a little bit of warmth, super tasty. Now if I wanted to make a regular zucchini loaf, all I need to do is mix this dry into that wet, and you are gonna be good to go. But I promised you marble zucchini loaf. So I don't know if anyone's made a marble loaf before, or a marble cake in general. The first time I did it, I thought I literally had to make a vanilla cake and a chocolate cake, and then somehow bring those 2 things together. But no. I'm gonna show you how to make literally any cake into a marble cake. It's super simple, and all you need is 2 ingredients. So into that bowl that I had the dry ingredients in, I'm gonna mix together 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. This is good, right, guys? I'm amped about this, I'm not gonna lie. This saved me a lot of headaches in my kitchen. And then into there, to give that chocolatiness, we're also going in with 2 tablespoons of that vegetable oil or canola oil. This is gonna give you a really dense, super chocolatey mixture, which is the exact thing you need to bring everything together into a marble cake. So give that a whisk. And it kind of looks like melted chocolate, do not taste it. This is going to be bitter and not good. So that is though gonna give you a really dense, delicious chocolatiness. So that is looking perfect. So now what I wanna do is just take about half of this batter and just dump it into that chocolate mixture. So if you wanted to do this with vanilla, even vanilla like boxed cake, you could easily do that. Just put about half of that in and give that a little bit of a stir to combine. And you are gonna see this batter turn into chocolate zucchini batter. So it's super simple, really easy. Now, to bring everything together, obviously we have our pan here, sprayed with a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. And then all you need to do is do a little bit of like a checkerboard pattern. So I'm gonna get some of the chocolate, pop it in, some of the vanilla, and pop that in. Guys, this is an excellent audience, I'm not gonna lie. You guys are making me feel really proud of myself right now. It's also very funny because this is what I sounded like when I figured this out. I was like, oh yeah, this is so much easier. So just kind of, yeah, a checkerboard pattern is all you really need to do. And then if you want to, you could swirl it together just to give it that beautiful marbled effect. I'm gonna get as much in here as possible, or as much as I want to, because you know, we're on TV. It's not perfect, we're good to go. All right, perfect. That's looking wonderful. Now, in addition to this, yes, we've got zucchini. Yes, we've got marble cake. But I also want that little bit of a streusel topping, kind of like a coffee cake. You know that crumbly bit on top? Super, super tasty. So I've got a bowl here, and all I'm gonna do is mix together some sugar, some flour, some cocoa, and some butter. So first thing I need is a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. That's gonna give you that nice kind of clumpy texture, which is perfect. Then I'm gonna go into there with 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. That's gonna make it clump together really nicely and hold into those little shapes. So 3 tablespoons go right on in. Typically my ratio, if I'm making some sort of streusel topping, is equal parts sugar to dry ingredients. So to amp up that 3 tablespoons of flour into that 4 tablespoons I need, I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of cocoa. So a tablespoon of cocoa. Season that up with a little bit of cinnamon. I am making a mess today, I'm not gonna lie. Little bit of cinnamon goes right on in. And then again, we're gonna season that with some salt because I like that little salty crisp you get in that beautiful mixture. So add that on in. Give that a stir just to combine. It's gonna look a little lumpy, but that's exactly what we're looking for. And then to bring this all together, we're gonna go in with just some melted butter. I've got 3 tablespoons of melted butter here that we're just gonna pour right on in. My mom used to buy this coffee cake mix. It was from a grocery store brand. It was like, the president was really into it. It was his choice, you might say. It was always a good thing. There you go, we got it, nice, yeah. Jeff's got it, yeah. But my mom would always make this streusel topping in a baggie. So she'd put it in a zip top baggie, and my job was like mushing it up. It was one of my favorite things to do. So just get it nice and mixed together, just until it's kind of crumbly and a little mucky looking. Then what you need to do is just grab that streusel and just kind of break it over top of that beautiful loaf. That's gonna give you some texture on there. It's gonna be really, really tasty. It's gonna bake up kind of crumbly and delicious. Then to bake this, all you need to do is heat your oven to 350 degrees, just a standard baking temperature. And I'm gonna pop that in for about 50 minutes to an hour. Anytime you are making a loaf, it takes way longer than you want it to. That's the only thing I don't love about a loaf. But once that's risen up and absolutely stunning, you end up with a little loaf that looks like this. Which, like, look at the amount of streusel on there. Like, so good. And you can see from the side that beautiful, beautiful marble effect. That crumbly top, look at that. Look at that. Looking so cute. Oh yeah. See, I had to keep cutting, so we got the best, most marbly piece. Look at that little piece of loaf. That with a little cup of tea, a little cup of coffee, and you are a happy camper. And yeah, getting your greens and a sweet treat all at the same time. That's the way I like to do it. All right, we gotta take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Up next, it's an Organizing 101 crash course with Megan Arthurs. That's up next. Tomorrow, Alexis Hans is getting you wedding ready with stylish looks that won't break the bank. Then, Leanne Allaire-Perot helps you conquer those pesky weekend projects like a warrior. And cool down in the kitchen with some tasty treat makers perfect for summer. That's tomorrow.
Organizing the tangled mess of stuff in every corner of our homes is Megan Arthurs. Hey, Megan.
Hey, it is going. I hope everyone brought their notebooks today, so they don't end up in organizing detention.
Organizing detention. Well, Megan, by the time you're done with us today, I'm going to get an A+. Everyone get ready, because class is in session. Too excited about this. What are you showing us today?
Okay, we are talking about accessories 101, which can get scattered all throughout our home. But lucky for the students here, we can create systems in our home that help us reclaim our space, our sanity, and our style.
Okay, I like this energy. Okay, let's start off in the living room.
Yes.
So what are we talking about in the living room?
Lesson number 1 is learning to tame the tangled tech.
Tame the tangled tech.
It's a tongue twister.
That is. We got that locked in, though.
Tangled tech is like a great way to go to detention.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
You know the pile where like all the cords are there?
Yes.
It's a visual eyesore, but a great solution is investing in a management cable box.
Before we get into that, I have a question for you.
Do ask.
I feel like you have the same energy as me. You've also never been to detention, right?
Never.
Never. Yeah.
It's like my biggest fear.
I know, like you saying I'm gonna go to detention. I'm like, I'm immediately sweaty.
I know.
Okay, let's do this.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Out of the way.
Okay. A cable box like this looks like this decorative bin, but it actually is designed for those awkward cables and cords and the power bars. You know these ones?
Yeah.
So you can open it up, pop it inside, and what's really nifty is that the side there's an opening here to feed through the cord to go to the outlet for plugging in. So I love that, 1, it's keeping you out of detention, but 2, it is concealing that mess.
Yeah, I love that. And then also, whenever you plug in, there's a little sneaky one over here too.
Yes.
For all those little plugs coming out.
Love the sneaky side.
Sneaky sides. All right, let's move on to our wardrobe.
Yes.
Because this is a place where I feel like a lot of accessories kind of go to hide and then never get worn.
100%. So lesson 2 is style starts with seeing it. It's the one category that we do underwear, not because we don't love our stuff, because we can't see it. So starting with belts, which is a really tricky one. So belts, I know we've probably all tried to roll them up and like place them, and then they're like,
yes.
Why
and then you're like, do I do the buckle on the inside or the outside?
What am I supposed to be doing here? So this is an acrylic belt organizer with various sections. What I love about it is that we can see through it. It keeps your rolled belts in good form and condition, and there's no lid on this. It's really important. Sometimes lids become the barrier between you and putting your stuff away.
Yes.
You know?
That is true. Or it becomes a shelf.
Yes.
And then you pile stuff on, and then you're never gonna open it.
You're never gonna wear a belt again in your life.
Ever again.
So that's a great solution. Now heading to scarves. Scarves are that category where we tend to have 100 and we wear 2.
Yes.
And there are many scarf organizers in the world, and most of them will get you expelled in life.
Expelled?
Well, expelled in Megan Arthur's organizing course.
Whoa,
I know.
That's sweaty.
Because they add bulk to your space, but I'm all about space saving. So here we have one where there's 2 hooks. So we can see the scarves horizontally. We can grab one, we can put them back, but if you want to save space, you can unhook one of them.
Oh, we like that.
And then see them vertically. Great space-saving solution.
I love that.
And then I want to talk about jewelry.
Okay, yeah.
So jewelry boxes over the course of time have become this like pirate treasure chest.
1000%.
Why are they so big?
They're so big, and there's like room for like 3 things.
It makes no sense.
No.
So obviously we're going to the wall here
Nice.
because I love a little wall storage.
A little vertical storage.
A little vertical storage. So this is a jewelry box organizer. So it opens up.
Oh, cool.
It's containing all of your pieces, keeping them tangle-free, which is a huge problem in my life.
Yes.
Like, oh, I want to wear this bracelet, but I don't have time to untangle it.
Yeah.
And then there's a mirror, which is also just super handy. This is A++ in style and storage.
Okay, right. We love this. We love that. That's fantastic. All right, moving on. Let's go into the bathroom, because this is an area where I know it just gets kind of chaotic immediately.
Yes. Lesson number 3, control the hair chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby pins tend to multiply or run away when you're sleeping.
My husband is like, I can tell where you started relaxing because there's just piles of bobby pins.
Hansel and Gretel trail of your pins. Yeah, it gets out of control really quick. So again, going to the wall space, this is a really handy solution. These are adhesive organizers that can hang your headbands, scrunchies, your famous pins. It's so easy to install. I am not the most handy gal, so when there's anything sticky to the wall, I'm like, sign me up.
She's on board.
I am on board.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is stick the adhesive part to the hook.
Okay.
And then, Mary, I'm gonna get you to put those on.
Okay.
We stick it to the wall, and we're good to go. So,
oh, no.
It's okay.
Don't do what I did.
It's okay. You're not in detention. Don't worry about that. So then it's all on the wall, so it's off the surface.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, fantastic. Now, next up, this one is a big one I know for me, and I think a lot of people, fitness gear.
Yes, fitness gear. Okay, lesson number 4, make space for movement. Okay, here's the truth. If your fitness equipment is hiding, so is your workout.
100%.
Right? You're probably not working out very much. So back to the wall, my favorite place to be, is a wall-mounted organizer for all of those awkward items. Like yoga mats are really hard to store. A lot of people tend to put them in hampers, but they fall over. So storing them vertically like this is a great solution. And then these little hooks down here are a perfect way to store the accessories, like the bands, the jump rope. I know you're a jump rope pro.
I do love jump rope.
She's great.
Thank you very much. I did it during rehearsal. It was very thrilling.
Very good.
That was a thrill.
Thanks, Mary.
A pluses all around. Everybody, great job. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Steven Sabados has the perfect patio inspiration and how you can get the look. That's coming up.
For your patio or balcony, designer Steven Sabados shows us around his outdoor oasis.
Hi Mary, welcome to my patio. And if there's one thing that I love to do in the summertime is entertain and have guests over. So let me show you around my patio. I think it's kind of fun to have a bit of a theme on a patio. And this one I wanted to have almost like a Zen garden, Southeast Asian. Now, I've traveled a lot to Thailand, to Bali, to Cambodia, even to Vietnam. And I found it so beautiful, the colors, the textures, the smells, the sights, and I wanted to incorporate a lot of that into this patio. The center point of this patio is this Zen fountain that I absolutely love. And it really is quite simple. You can actually make it yourself or install it yourself. All you need is a fiberglass surround that you can put into the ground. I filled it full of rocks, and then I have a pump on the inside which goes through the ginger jar. All you have to do is fill it with water, plug it in, and it's a beautiful, beautiful focal point. The architecture of the building was all black, so that really was the keynote for all the architecture that I added to the space, like the arbor and the trellis, and I wanted that to be in black to tie in seamlessly to the building. Now also on the floor, I wanted that to be quite neutral. This composite floor is absolutely perfect. Zero maintenance, and it's a click system, so you can't see any screws that actually screw down into the deck. Now, the beauty that I love about the black and the arbors and the painting that I've done is that it really sets off the greenery, which is beautiful. So I wanted to have a lot of lush green, which really pops off the black walls. I thought it was really important, and I did have the space here to have a designated zone just for sun tanning. Now, I wanted to keep this zone quite tight, so I anchored it with the indoor-outdoor area rug. And then I have all the accoutrements there for sun tanning. And there's also even a little solar-powered fountain that you can splash in. In the dining room area, I thought it was really important to add a bit of a false wall. And behind that wall, I have the barbecues that are hidden. And that's really nice. When you're grilling, you don't get the smoke and all the char, everything blowing on your guests while they're trying to dine. Also in the dining room area there, I also installed a very large mirror, which I think is wonderful because it almost feels like a little bit of a porthole going somewhere else, and it reflects all the gardens behind, doubling the size of the dining room. Also, this little rollaway bar I thought was absolutely adorable. I found it, get this, it's actually a planter that I converted into a bar. I really love this space for many reasons. Number one, because I love entertaining, I love having people over, and I love sharing it. Number two, when people come over, the first thing they always say, they go, oh wow, I feel like I'm on holidays. I feel like I've traveled somewhere. And I think that's the key thing, that when you have guests over, number one, that they're comfortable, and number two, that they feel like they've gotten away. No matter how big or small your space is, I hope this really inspires you to go out and try something really unique for your space and enjoy the summer.
Wow, what a beautiful patio. And everybody, please welcome Stephen. Thank you so much for taking us on that tour.
Absolutely, yeah. It was long in the making, but it was a beautiful day to shoot.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
That's amazing. I love it.
you.
Okay, now you're actually going to show us how we can get that same look in our own space, starting off with a little bit of texture.
Absolutely. The first thing I want to talk about is texture. These pillows I absolutely fell in love with. These I got from HomeSense, so they look like seagrass.
Yeah.
They feel like seagrass, but they're not real grass, so they're not going to deteriorate.
Yeah.
They're made out of a just like a plastic resin or something. But absolutely fantastic. You also want to fill your space with a lot of natural wood textures, things of this nature, like even wicker, you name it. Bring out all the stuff that you have, and this is really going to work well with the theme.
Is this also something you could go foraging if you were someone who wanted to do that? Maybe you're going on a, maybe you're in, I don't know, Nova Scotia, walking along the beach?
Yes!
Yeah.
A big bowl of like driftwood or something like that is absolutely perfect,
Okay,
for
fantastic.
sure. Next thing we want to do is we want to anchor it with lots of black.
Yeah.
Okay, if you notice in my patio, all the planters were black, which is great. And that sort of really makes whatever's inside really pop.
Yeah.
So here, just a small little orchid, but the greenery really pops.
Yeah.
Also, and you can see that this little guy here, this is I love this little guy. Look at him. He's so cute.
Is this like a little coconut?
One day he'll be a tree.
He'll be a tree one day. One day.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
And then he'll give me free pina coladas. Yeah. But even like this with the black pot, you know, so a lot of restaurants and hotels on the patio, they do use a lot of black. I think it's what I call it patio chic.
Yeah.
It's it's dark. It's like
grounding.
Grounding, yeah. And then anything that you mix with it, it's really just gonna pop.
I love that. And again, we've got texture carrying through.
Texture.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Again, this one here from IKEA, this is fantastic. Yeah, texture and black, double.
Fantastic. Now we're gonna go into kind of pops. This is the area where we want those like kind of bright.
Bright colors.
Yeah.
And for this here now, I couldn't find the exact color I wanted. So I just got an inexpensive pillowcase here, right? What I did then is I just dyed them, do a little DIY. It's just tangerine and fuchsia mixed together, and you're gonna get this this orange to me was just perfect for the patio.
That's beautiful.
Now I know these aren't outdoor fabrics, but which is okay if they fade a little bit. You put them back in the dye bath, pop them back up again.
This is, I've never dyed anything before, and I'd really like to get it, because sometimes you have that like shirt that you like so much, but it's a little like, so you want to dye it.
Absolutely. Well, so you cook in the kitchen?
You're going to dye stuff?
I dye stuff in the kitchen.
Fantastic, I like this,
Get a big canning pot and get all your fabrics in there.
Like a
big cauldron.
Yes, exactly. Okay, fantastic. Now, next up we're trying greenery.
Greenery, yeah. Don't be afraid to layer in some artificial greenery, okay? Like we have here the palm tree in the back. We've got these little guys here. Again, from IKEA, super inexpensive. If you tuck it in with the reel, no one's gonna know. And I was thinking a little dark corner somewhere, put some real stuff around. Yeah. It's gonna make your garden look that much more lush.
That's true.
And you know what? If no one's touching it, no one's noticing.
I appreciate this energy because I kill plants.
Well, so... And then again, when you mix both of them, it's even better.
Yeah, so, I love that. And
absolutely.
unless I can eat it, then it's definitely gonna go. It's not doing well. All right, now you wanted to talk a little bit about travel keepsakes.
Yeah, because you know, we always travel, and you know, we all bring home tons of stuff. I know I do. So you know, when I went to these were from Thailand. I brought home in my carry-on. Oh, wow. My backpack.
Okay,
and they're super heavy. Anyhow, bring this stuff in. You know, I got this little ladle from Vietnam, which I thought was super cute. So again, like this stuff here was my theme, but say if you love to go to the Mediterranean, all that kind of stuff. Mexico, great colors, great textures. Bring that out and do a little theme on your patio. Why not? You're going to use it.
I love that.
At least, and then as opposed to tucking it away. And then you get to show it off, and everything's a story.
That's true.
Which is cute.
That is always a good thing.
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
now you also want to, in addition to those kind of like personal touches from your travels, you also want to do a little bit of a DIY.
Always a DIY.
In addition to the little tip about the dyeing, which is very good and sneaky. I love that.
So this well, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I saw something very similar to this in a very high-end store.
Okay. See, I like this. This is good.
And then I thought, I can make that.
You can make that. That's a good energy.
So, okay, so that first I'm gonna do a glass vase any size.
Okay.
Okay. Then I just cut a little piece of burlap to fit around it.
Okay.
Okay, super easy. Here we go, that's done.
Done.
So the next thing, you're gonna take these little placemats we know we can get anywhere, super inexpensive.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for like a dried banana leaf.
Yeah.
I couldn't find one.
No.
So I thought, well, these are dried banana leaves. So
Are they?
Yes, put these in the sink.
Yeah.
Soak them for about a half hour or so in warm water.
Yeah.
They'll start to sort of unfurrow.
Yeah.
You unfurrow it.
Is that what this is?
That's what this is.
What?
So these were the leaves, and they get all dried up like this. So then I just dried it again.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Fantastic.
So now we have our dried banana leaves.
Great, we love it.
So then what we're gonna do is I just made these little wisps.
Okay, cool.
So banana leaf and some raffia.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay, cute.
Super easy. So what we're gonna do is here, I don't know if this is, a
little bit of glue, fantastic.
So,
industrial strength glue gun.
Industrial strength glue gun. And then here, what we're gonna make is like, imagine it's like a little, I don't know.
It's like a little
collar,
skirt.
like a skirt collar.
Yeah.
Glue this all the way on.
Okay.
Then you just take it around, you wrap it around here.
Oh, and then a little bit of twine.
A little bit of twine, as you can see here, to twine it around. Honestly, it looks like $1 million bucks, and it's literally pennies.
This is so cute.
If you don't like it, you can take it off and keep your vase.
Yeah.
But then also, Mary, this I thought you're gonna really love.
Oh, is that a steamer?
A bamboo steamer.
Oh, that's cute. We like this.
Because I wanted something that was like, what's gonna look really cool and elevated a bit.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I went to Chinatown, bamboo steamer, it was $2.
Yes.
Right?
Do you know what I also love about this? This is like when you, my husband and I, when we did our own flooring in a little part of our house, nothing saves the day like baseboard. Those edges, just cover them up.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just tuck this in here, and there you go. And you know, again, for like literally pennies, you can put little battery-operated lights in here for your patio, or flowers,
some
whatever.
Flowers. Beautiful. Steven, this was so great. Thank you so much for the inspiration. And thanks for having us on your patio. We gotta take a quick break. We'll be right back. Want more of the good stuff? For recipes, behind-the-scenes content, and so much more, follow us on our socials at The Good Stuff CTV. Okay, studio audience, get ready for a good old-fashioned game of true or false, because Science Sam is here to help us bust some popular summer myths. Hey, Science Sam, how's it going? Excited about this.
Me too.
We've grown up with so many kind of do's and don'ts, especially in the summer months, I feel like. So we're gonna see which ones we can debunk. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Yeah, using a little science for it.
Carefree summer, you know, a lot of things come up, but we'll get to the bottom of it.
Get to the bottom of it. I like this energy. Okay, so let's start off with our first myth. Now, the first myth is, you shouldn't swim right after you eat. Audience, what do we think? True or false? True! Okay. Resounding true. Wow. Resounding true. Okay.
Okay, that strong true.
Yeah.
It's actually false.
Yes!
Yeah, I know we had a few people say it.
I always felt like it was just because I just had no patience.
I mean, that's fair.
And I wanted it to be false, yeah.
Well, the idea with the old myth is that like you'd be digesting, all your blood flow would go there, nothing for your muscles, you'll cramp, and then the cramps will make you drown, and that's dangerous.
Yes.
Turns out your body can handle both, as long as you're not like swimming a marathon, but we're all just lazing in the pool.
Yeah, right? This is a lazy river swim.
You can do both. It is false. You can eat, then you can go hop in the pool.
Okay.
Just keep it chill.
Okay, keep it chill.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, there we go, guys. We just changed lives today in this audience. All right, next summer myth: you only need 2 fingers worth of sunscreen for full protection on your face. So 2 fingers worth. True or false?
Let's see.
Okay. I would say true is winning, but we've got some false.
Okay, hotly debated here, and it is a bit controversial, but we are going to say false.
Okay. Nicely done.
Let me show you why, Mary.
Yes.
Go ahead and you can do it yourself.
Okay.
Thick lines there, nice and slow. And then there's me rushing doing 2 fingers. Look at the, okay, I'll be a little more fair. Right? That's vastly different amounts.
Yes.
So it really depends on the sunscreen, the texture, and how fast you're going. So safer, you got a measuring spoon already.
Okay.
And then just measure it out.
Okay.
You want about a 1/4 teaspoon. Sorry, it's a mess.
That's okay. I like this
you know
energy.
How I do on the show.
Yeah.
So a 1/4 teaspoon, that's a good amount for just your face.
Okay.
And then
But
you
that
can
doesn't count your neck and stuff.
Yeah, if you're doing neck and ears, bump up to a full teaspoon.
Okay.
So measure it once for each type of sunscreen because they're all a little different, and then just eyeball the same amount each time.
Okay.
That's the way to do it. You know, fingers get.
I'm just gonna use this sunscreen.
Yeah, sure. I'll do it too.
I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna waste that. I love the sunscreen. All right, next up, good job, everybody. I'm feeling good about this.
Killing it.
Next up, wearing black clothes actually makes you hotter. True or false? True. Okay, we've got a mix, but it's mainly true. What are we thinking?
Okay, so this one is true.
Yeah.
I did a backyard experiment to show you why. Let's take a look at this video.
Okay.
So I had a white t-shirt and a black t-shirt on a sunny day on a chair. I took my kitchen surface thermometer. When I point it to the white t-shirt, we get a reading about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius.
Yeah.
Pop that over to the black t-shirt.
Okay.
Take a look at this reading. It's so hard to read, but jumps up
To 102? 100?
on average, because it kept climbing 105 or 40 degrees Celsius. It's a 10 degrees Celsius difference.
That's bananas.
So here's the thing: if it's that's the surface temperature. The black is absorbing that heat from the sun. So if it's tight on your skin, it will make you hotter. On that day, it was 10-degree difference.
Wow.
The one exception, okay, is if it's loose clothes. Think of people in the desert wear the loose clothes sometimes in black. It'll give ventilation. It won't heat you up. So it's true if the clothes are snug.
Okay. This reminds me, I did an experiment for this in grade 2. I remember we put a piece of fabric over a bowl with ice cubes in it and put it in the sun.
Oh, that's a great way to do it. I should have done that.
It's a good one too, guys. Science. We've got it. We've got it. All right. Next, you're doing fantastic. Drinking lemonade cools you down on a hot summer day. True or false? True. Okay. I feel like I'm going true, but we've got a couple falses. What are we thinking?
So we got this nice ice cold lemonade. You think it would cool you off, but it's false.
Why?
Also with a few exceptions.
Caveat,
So here's the thing. The thing that cools us down on a hot day, it has to do with sweat. When we get hot, our bodies sweat, and that sweat evaporates off our skin. That's what cools us down.
Okay.
So if it's a hot but breezy day, you want to sweat, and a cold drink might make you sweat less. Okay, a little bit. So then you'll lose that effect. But hot, sticky, humid summer day where that sweat's not going anywhere, drink the refreshing drink.
Okay.
And look, these were studies done in athletes, and overall it's such a small difference. I say find shade. Find shade.
Yeah.
Drink whatever you want.
Okay. just
get
drink
a fan,
things,
and then there you go.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah, right?
And again, if it's a dry heat, if you're in Arizona, sure.
Yeah.
But in Toronto,
And it feels good. That's good
does.
enough, but it's not really changing your temperature.
Okay, cool. No, wait. Next myth is you can tell the temperature by counting cricket chirps. This sounds like a farmer's almanac. What do we think? True or false? Okay. This sounds like me when I'm like, it's gonna storm. I can see the underside of leaves. I'm gonna say lightly, weirdly true.
Okay, believe it or not, it is true.
Yes!
For a specific type of cricket. Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket. A specific type of cricket, the snowy tree cricket, which we have in Canada, and they're very active in the summer. Give a listen to what it sounds like. Cute.
That's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Okay, so if you hear this high-pitched musical trill cricket, okay, there are other types. We want this tree and shrub type. You count how many chirps you hear in 15 seconds. Okay, we're gonna do some math.
Okay.
So let's say we count 15.
Okay.
We're not actually gonna do it.
Okay. I was counting.
You add 40.
Okay.
And that gives you your degree temperature in Fahrenheit. An approximation, okay? Is that perfect? Now, I know we don't want Fahrenheit, we want Celsius, but it's a bit more math. You gotta count for 25 seconds, divide by 3, add 4.
Yeah.
So we'll just go with Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And there you go, Dolbear's Law.
Okay, I like that. Thanks, Dolbear. And cricket.
Not exact.
All right, final summer myth, and this one I think is about to really rock my world and my childhood. Oof. Drinking from a garden hose to cool down is totally safe. True or false? I want it to be true, but is it true or false?
It's false.
No!
I'm so sorry. One, the hose itself sitting in the sun, it leaches some of the plastic.
Yeah.
And really old hoses, I cannot
That's
speak.
okay.
Really
We're too excited for
old,
summer.
I'm too excited.
Yeah.
The old hoses have some lead connectors. You don't want that.
No.
But let's say you have drinking water safe hose.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you do. Still, there's a lot of water reservoir in the hose that sits even for the whole season. A breeding ground for bacteria. A dramatized version.
Oh, no.
If you will. It's
Yes.
not actually like that. It
Yes.
might not even look visibly cloudy, but a lot of bacteria can grow. So I just wouldn't drink it. False. Sorry.
That's okay. You just really
I
put a
know.
little damper on the old summer memories
I
there.
know.
Put it on your head. Put it on your head. Put it on your head, and you are good to go. Sam, thank you so much for such great
you.
information.
Thank you.
Great job, everybody. We gotta take a break, and we'll be right back. That was so good.
Want to be on the good stuff?
Yeah. Amazing.
Whether you're ready for a brand new look,
Oh my gosh.
a refresh in your living space,
Oh my God.
need help with a special event, or want to show off your skills in the kitchen,
All right.
simply scan the QR code below and apply to be on the show.
Magician, a mentalist, and a viral sensation who has amazed millions around the world. Please welcome the one, the only, the Magic Matt. Hi, Matt. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Okay, so you have performed for celebrities, you've stunned millions online. What would you say is the secret to making magic feel real, even when we kind of know it's a trick?
Yeah, for sure. So something my mentor told me was the definition of magic. And what that is just putting more preparation into something than anyone would sort of reasonably assume. So I'll give you an example. When I was little, I go to my grandparents' house for a sleepover.
Yeah.
And as soon as I open the door, you know, the aroma of fresh baked cookies would hit my nose, freshly pressed sheets, my favorite shows on the VCR, Lego ice cream, everything. And that felt like magic to me, the preparation they put into it. So I really think it's that overwhelming sense of kindness and surprise that you can give someone, like giving them a laugh and a smile, to me feels more like magic than just tricking them.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh, that's so nice, Matt. I think you just explained why I love magic so much. That was absolutely perfect. Okay, so you are going to be performing a trick on me today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the idea of memories, right, I shared one. We're gonna do this. I brought with me my wallet because I believe wallets hold memories. You know, whether it's our first driver's license, a library card, whatever it is, we're gonna create a memory here today. Mary, can you confirm there's nothing in this wallet?
There is nothing in that wallet.
Right. What we're gonna do is this. Can you just hold this up? Yeah, just from the top. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I'm gonna take a picture and we're gonna turn this into a memory.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, looking good. Awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Okay, perfect.
And you can actually take the phone.
Okay.
So hold on to that, and we'll close this up here.
Okay.
Now, we're gonna do one more thing. I brought with me a deck of cards.
I love a
Cliche,
card.
I know, yeah.
I love cards. I love
we'll do
playing
this.
them. I love tricks. I love them all.
I'm gonna have you select one. Can you confirm, right, not every card is the same?
Yes,
They're all
correct.
various different cards.
All different cards.
Go ahead, put your finger on any one card. you
Okay.
want. That one. Go ahead, pull that right out.
Okay.
Don't show me what it is.
Okay.
You can show the audience. Promise I won't look. Unless you want to make my job really easy. Put that away into your pocket. Just get rid of it.
I don't have a pocket. Can I put it in my shirt?
Put it wherever you want.
Okay, we got it.
I can only assume what happened. Okay.
I don't remember what it was, yeah.
We're gonna do this. Like I said, we created a memory, but you have a card now.
Yes.
I'm gonna see if I can guess the card, but first we'll start with a memory. Think back to maybe a dish you made, the first dish you made for, let's say, Aaron.
Okay.
Okay. Picture what it was. Oh, it doesn't look too happy. Something might have went wrong. Is it some sort of noodle?
Yes.
Like a bow tie
Yes.
pasta? Okay. Maybe I'm just a fan of the show. Let's take it a step further. You have a card in mind.
Yes.
Picture what it looks like.
Okay.
I'm seeing red? No. I'm having a tough time. Maybe if we associate with a memory, it'll make it a little easier.
Okay.
Think of, earlier I asked you, think of like a childhood friend, right? Someone you're close, someone you had a memory with.
Yeah.
Can you envision them holding that playing card?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm starting to get something here.
Okay.
Mary, can you take the first letter of that name, just pluck it out of your head?
Okay.
Yeah, drop it right here.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, put it on, okay.
Guys, I'm freaking out.
Okay, Mary, don't look. What was the first letter, just out loud?
J.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Keep thinking about it. Think of the last letter. You can look now.
Okay.
Look at me, actually.
Okay.
Think of the last letter. Is it a vowel? Think of the rest of the letters. There's a few vowels in here. Okay,
This is wild, guys.
hold on. If you're able to. Okay, one more time, I'll show them.
Okay.
Mary, for the first time, nice and loud, what is the name of the childhood friend you thought of?
Jackie.
You can see it. But hold on. That gives me a little more context. Now, envision Jackie holding this card.
Okay.
Oh, it's coming through now. It's a black card, maybe higher.
Yeah.
King, queen, ace. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. A lot of people think of Queen of Hearts, but I think you went with Queen of Spades. Is that right? Show them, but hold on. You can show it. This would only be impressive if the memory was complete. Remember at the start of the segment, I showed you the wallet was empty, but we took a picture.
Yes.
Mary, I haven't touched that phone. Open up to the most recent photo on that phone, and hopefully our memory will have come true. Look at what is inside of the wallet. Zoom in on that.
Sorry, the focus.
You can see the Queen of Spades inside of the wallet. Just like,
You're a wizard! Matt, that was so cool! Oh my gosh, Matt, that was amazing!
Thank you.
Let's hear for Magic Matt! That was awesome! Oh my gosh, and if you're looking to wow your guests at your next event, be sure to check out Matt's website. Matt, that was so fun. I'm freaking out. We gotta take a break. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow, Alexis Haunts is getting you wedding ready with stylish looks that won't break the bank. Then, Leanne Allaire-Perot helps you conquer those pesky weekend projects like a warrior. And cool down in the kitchen with some tasty treat makers perfect for summer. That's tomorrow.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you want to be on the show, there's lots of opportunities, including fashion, beauty, decor, makeovers, and more. Just scan the QR code on your screen to apply. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for more of the good stuff.